Good evening and welcome. You're watching the Newshour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. If the BJP is a Hindutva party, then can the Indian Union Muslim League be deemed a secular party? How is it that those who find the BJP against secularism find the IUML completely secular? This fresh debate has been stirred by Rahul Gandhi's interaction with journalists at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. Rahul Gandhi was asked a question about allying with a Muslim party, IUML in Kerala, while talking about secularism and democracy and opposing the Hindu party, BJP. When that comparison was made, here is how the former Congress president replied.
You talked about secularism and democracy while opposing the Hindu party BJP. However, Congress in Kerala has been in alliance with the Muslim party, Muslim League in Kerala, the state from which you were MP for more than, the state you are the MP for more than 70 years.
Muslim League is a completely secular party.
Right.
There's nothing non-secular about the Muslim League.
Questions are a little disjointed. Sorry about that.
I think the person hasn't studied the Muslim League.
Now, this naturally was fodder enough for the BJP to ask, is this an alternate reality that the Congress wants to foist on the country? Or does Rahul Gandhi want to simply whitewash the Muslim League because of compulsions he has in Wayanad?
और दुख की बात तो यह है कि उसको सेक्युलर कह देना और फिर ये कहना कि ये जिन्ना की मुस्लिम लीग से अलग है। ये वही लोग हैं जो पार्टीशन के समय यहां पर रह गए थे, जिन्होंने उस समय की मुस्लिम लीग के सदस्य होने के बाद पार्टीशन के बाद यहीं पे मुस्लिम लीग बनाई भी। और यही नहीं, जो मुसलमानों के लिए अलग से सीट रिजर्वेशन चाहते थे, शरिया कानून लागू करना चाहते थे।
But look at the name of the party itself, Indian Union Muslim League. In a democracy, how can you have a religion which is exclusive purview of one religion?
मुस्लिम लीग को धर्मनिरपेक्ष कहना, ये मानसिकता ज्यादा खतरनाक है। राहुल गांधी का नादानी भरा बयान, इसे मैं गंभीरता से नहीं लेता, लेकिन कांग्रेस की जो प्रवृत्ति है, तो मैं ये कहूंगा कि हम पर तो वो आरोप लगाते हैं, लेकिन मेरा मानना है कि कांग्रेस हो या राहुल गांधी हो, जब ये बात कहते हैं कि मुस्लिम लीग धर्मनिरपेक्ष है, तो ये बंटवारे का बीजारोपण कर रहे हैं, बांटने का बीजारोपण कर रहे हैं।
The Congress's defense on this issue was fourfold. First, that the IUML, which is an ally of the Congress now, is deliberately being confused with Muhammad Ali Jinnah's Muslim League, which was dissolved after independence. Two, that the BJP itself has done business with the IUML as it exists today on various occasions. Three, that a man who the BJP holds as its ideological forefather, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, he is the one who has been hand in glove with Jinnah's Muslim League even before partition. And four, that the IUML in its present form is a nationalist organization and a nationally recognized party.
Definitely, IUML is a secular party. They believe in secularism. They fight for secularism and they are against fascist movements. So whatever Rahul Gandhi says is 100% correct.
ये वो मुस्लिम लीग है जिससे भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने स्वयं नागपुर म्युनिसिपैलिटी में अलायंस किया, गठबंधन किया म्युनिसिपैलिटी पे कब्जा करने के लिए। ये वो मुस्लिम लीग है जिससे भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने नागपुर में गठबंधन किया था। ये वो मुस्लिम लीग है जिसको अटल जी पसंद करते थे।
BJP had a great friendship with Jinnah and Jinnah's Muslim League because in Bengal, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, who is the founding father of BJP, had formed the government with Jinnah's Muslim League.
Actually, the Congress is right on 3 of those 4 counts. But on the issue of the IUML secularism, there's a larger philosophical question mark. If a nationally recognized party can be dubbed communal, if an organization that literally calls itself the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh can be called an exclusivist Hindu organization and hence again communal, how can a party that proudly calls itself the Indian Union Muslim League be called quote-unquote completely secular? Will the same standards of secularism be applied to all, or will political alliances and political convenience get some parties the benefit of being secularized in a secular washing machine?
You're watching the News Hour at 10. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
All right, joining us on the debate, Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, Mithun Vijay Kumar, political analyst, member of the IUML, advocate Mohammad Shah, Dr. Sumanth Raman and Nikhil Jain, both political analysts. So let me ask that very fundamental question to you, Dr. Sumanth Raman. How is the Indian Union Muslim League secular, but Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, which in English translates to the National Party or organization of workers or Swayamsevaks, become Hindu and communal?
Padmaja, I think first of all this raking up this issue is sort of becoming a kind of a self-goal for BJP. For a simple reason, the Jinnah's Muslim League could not have been the reference that was made because it's not in existence as it were. Today, the Indian Union Muslim League is there. It is a member of the UDF in Kerala for
Sir, we'll come to that in just a second.
Now.
Let's take it one by one.
By the way,
let's talk now about
the IUML,
verbiage. Starting with Indian Union Muslim League was called completely secular. But in the words of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, let me quote to you what he said in August last year. The Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, which literally has national in its phrase, is like the Muslim Brotherhood. So if IUML is secular, then Muslim Brotherhood is also secular. One is the Muslim League, one is the Muslim Brotherhood.
No, I think, no, Padmaja, I think, no, I think one has to distinguish between what is in a name and what are the activities of these individual organizations.
So we'll wait for the Muslim Brotherhood to ally with the Congress before it's called completely secular. Essentially, the activity difference is IUML is an alliance, Muslim Brotherhood is not.
Nagpur, no, 1 minute. Nagpur Municipal Corporation, who took the support of the Indian Union Muslim League? BJP took the support of Indian Union Muslim League.
You are not answering my question. You are dancing around my initial question.
Communal organization.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi said, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh is like the Muslim Brotherhood, which basically means that he holds Muslim Brotherhood in contempt, just like he holds the RSS in contempt. So if the Muslim Brotherhood is communal, how is the Muslim League secular?
Okay, Indian Union Muslim League, except for 2 instances in the past, and I think if you take 2 instances, virtually every political party will fail the test, has not been significantly associated with violence incidents, in its history. There have been 2 incidents, one of them in Kerala.
So again, you are dancing around my question, except answering me, what is the difference between Muslim Brotherhood, which was called communal, and Muslim League? Let's talk about the fundamentals of a party. Like somebody starts by saying, I am Hindu Jagran Manch, and you say they are a Hindu organization. How is the Indian Union Muslim League then completely secular, quote unquote?
1 second. One second. In the midst of multiple organizations that got radicalized, that actually spawned extremist ideology, the Indian Union Muslim League has not. In fact, following the demolition of the Babri Masjid, one of the most peaceful states was Kerala, and that was because of Muhammad Ali Shihab Tangal, who was heading the Muslim League at that time, appealing for calm and peace. So let's be very clear. Actions
We're not clear at all, because for the last 5 minutes, actually 8 minutes, I've asked one question which you haven't answered, and you have conveniently said, let's be very clear. But you weren't clear at all about the singular question I have been asking. Singular question.
Very clear. You want to go with the name. You want to go with the name.
Of course I want to go with the name.
Because the name Muslim is there. It cannot be secular. Why?
Yeah.
It is
what else? If you say I am a Muslim League, then you are a Muslim party. And that by its very definition is antithetical to the idea of what secular is. Now would you, for one moment, imagine the Bharatiya Janata Party being called the Hindu Janata Party, and you would say, but it is completely secular. What if the BJP was called the HJP, the Hindu Janata Party? Would you call it a secular party?
For all practical purposes, that's what it is. Whether you call it that, I think, Padmaja, you're getting obsessed with the name. If I have a name Hindu, I cannot be secular, or if I have a name Muslim, I cannot be secular. But if I don't have it in my name and I behave in a secular,
and who decides behavior?
I'm still secular.
You are the National Board of Certification of Behavior.
Rahul Gandhi is
Violence?
The NBCB.
For starters,
I will decide your behavior whether it is secular or not. I shall certify. The Censor Board of Secularism. All right. I think it's become quite clear in the last 9 minutes. You are not going to answer that question. But Shehzad Poonawala, the question to you is, it's become a convenient dog whistle. You picked up the IUML and you deliberately tried to obfuscate it by bringing in Jinnah. Jinnah's party was dissolved. The IUML is a nationally recognized party recognized by the Election Commission of India.
First of all, if that is the only standard, that if it is recognized by the Election Commission of India, then the Hindu Mahasabha is also recognized. And the BJP is also recognized. Why are they keeping on calling on these parties communal? Secondly, we have not linked them. Please let's have a debate on facts. Muhammad Ismail, who the Congress spokespersons are eulogizing, was he part of Jinnah's party, yes or no? Was he in the Constituent Assembly thanks to Jinnah's party, yes or no? Then when in 1948, it was Nehru who opposed the idea of reorganization of Muslim League Indian franchisee, and he complained to Mountbatten that this should not be allowed, that means Nehru was communal and Mr. Ismail was secular, or Mr. Nehru was secular and Ismail was communal. But let me come to what Mr. Sumanth Raman has said, behavior secular होना चाहिए, नाम में कुछ नहीं रखा. वैसे तो नाम बदलने पर फिर ये लोग आपत्ति क्यों करते हैं? अगर मुगल गार्डन अमृत उद्यान बना तो फूल तो वही है. पर anyways, let me go by his logic. अगर secular behavior है तो बताइए, batting for Sharia, is it secular? Over संविधान? Batting for Zakir Naik, secular? Batting against triple talaq law ordained by the Supreme Court, secular? And now I'll ask you one fundamental question. Uddhav Sena's Sanjay Raut has said voting rights of Muslims should be revoked. सेक्युलर है बिहेवियर या कम्युनल है बिहेवियर? अपनी मर्जी से जब सेक्युलर पर बने तो सेक्युलर, जिसको कम्युनल घोषित करना है तो कम्युनल. बट लुक, आई एम नॉट सरप्राइज पद्मजा, जिनको ओसामा में जी नजर आता है, जिनको हाफिज में साहब नजर आता है, इशरत में बेटी नजर आती है, याकूब और अफजल में हालात का मारा नजर आता है, 26/11 में आरएसएस की साजिश नजर आती है, हिंदू टेरर नजर आता है, उनको अगर पीरजादा से लेकर अगर मुस्लिम लीग सेक्युलर फरिश्ते नजर आते हैं तो इसमें कोई भी बात हैरानी की नहीं है. ये इनकी cap politics. Cap meaning competitive appeasement politics.
Okay, respond Dr. Sumanth Raman, fresh from a Google search. He's looking very convinced about whatever he's just found on his phone. Yes, Dr. Sumanth Raman.
Why did Atal Bihari Vajpayee as Prime Minister of India send Mr. E. Ahmed
very good question.
The Indian Union Muslim League?
So just to be clear, we've moved on from the behavior part. Because if we're talking about behavior, I want to gently also point out. Hold on a second. I will ask the question about Vajpayee ji. I will ask the question about Mr. Vajpayee. But because you just offered the argument, Muslim Brotherhood acts communal, hence we will deem it communal. BJP acts communal, hence it is communal, whether they call themselves Bharatiya Janata Party or Secular Janata Party or Mahasecular Janata Party. So, is the Shiv Sena, just like the IUML, also secular in its behavior? Actually, let me also remind you of one more small example. In June 2000, and not only Sanjay Raut, in June 2000, the Congress NCP controlled Democratic Front government actually gave sanction to the Mumbai police to prosecute Bal Thakre under section 153 of the IPC for inciting communal passions. 21 years later, the same behavior of Bal Thakre's party became secular enough for the same Congress to ally with them. They told the Mumbai police, arrest Bal Thakre for inciting communal passions in June 2000. So the behavior argument we have moved on from, just to make it clear for the audience. If Mr. Vajpayee has endorsed IUML, why do you have a fight with it now?
See, Sumanth Raman, let's speak one at a time, sir. Sir, Padmaja ji has asked me your question, I'm answering.
I think
Padmaja has asked me your question only, so you can't keep talking non-stop.
Sir, I've taken your question. Let him answer now. Why did Mr. Vajpayee endorse IUML?
If that endorsement alone is sufficient to give IUML secularism ka certificate, Narasimha Rao ji sent Atal Bihari Vajpayee to United Nations. Then Congress should never call BJP communal.
But he was the right man in the wrong party according
by
to
the same
Congress.
standard. And secondly, sir, forget BJP. Mr. Vijayan, Pinarayi Vijayan has said it is an extremist organization for IUML. Mr. V. Raghavan, who is the CPM secretary, has said that this is an organization that associates with extremists. When they came to power in one district in Kerala, they reduced the marriage age of women to 16. The women made some complaints in their organization. They disbanded the women's wing only. And they are the ones who are advocating for strict Sharia law. So now you tell me, sir, who advocates Sharia is secularism ka farishta, and those who advocate for Hindutva, which is defined by quote as way of life, they are communalism ka pulinda. How can you have such double standards, sir?
Okay, respond to that, Nikhil Jain. Double standards.
Can I?
Let Nikhil Jain also speak, yes.
First of all, Padmaja, Shakespeare said several centuries. Yeah, I'm audible. Yeah, so Shakespeare said a couple of centuries ago, what's there in the name? I don't understand why do we have to conflate the name with the character of the organization. If the character of the organization is communal, then let's call it communal. Also on the topic of the name, when you're trying to translate...
Again, out of curiosity, who decides whose character is communal? Who decides that?
Rahul Gandhi.
Let's come on to that, but let me help you with the translation of the RSS in English first. National Self-Servers Union, that would be the translation.
Okay.
Be that as it may...
You're also now the Board of Translation in addition to the Board of Certification for Character. Nice, go on.
I would love to be.
Yes.
But be that as it may, the United Democratic Front, the coalition that the Congress is a part of in Kerala, that is a secular coalition. See, let's not get into this business of what if the name is has a religion, then it is communal. If that it does not, it is not communal. I'm moving to the point of the character of the coalition of which the Congress is a part, and that is a perfectly secular coalition. Individual partners in that may or may not have stuck to secularism.
How can you have a character which is secular when your other characters in the alliance are not secular? What is this sorcery that you can dine with a person who is not secular, but they suddenly the alliance of it becomes secular? Means Sanjay Raut says Muslim rights should be revoked, but that is secular because Congress ne touch kar diya hai.
That was the common minimum program. Shiv Sena is a party that
they are saying we are for demolition of Babri. You are saying Babri banana hai. What is common in this?
Yet they are in a coalition. Yet they are. Padmaja, can I complete my point?
Sir, आपका character क्या है? आप बाबरी के साथ हैं या राम मंदिर के साथ हैं?
Okay, let him finish, please. Yes.
Shehzad, let me complete. Please.
Is my name secular or communal?
Look at the Shiv Sena. They are self-professed non-secular party. Oh, come on, Shehzad. Just give me half a minute to complete it. Shiv Sena does not call them a secular party, but the Mahavikas Aghadi is a perfectly secular coalition because that is the common minimum program that when the Shiv Sena is in alliance with the Congress and the NCP, they are not to move forward on the secular agenda. The same applies to the Indian Muslim League and the United Democratic Front. And if the BJP really thinks that the IUML is a very communal party, let them file a complaint with the Election Commission. Let the Election Commission de-recognize them because the last I checked, no party can ask names and ask for votes in the name of religion. Therefore, no party can be blatantly communal.
Right. So, Mithun Vijay Kumar, maybe the IUML was for Sharia, maybe the IUML was for the continuation of triple talaq, but by virtue of the Midas secular touch, there used to be a Midas touch and now there is a secular touch, and that secular touch has secularized the alliance in Kerala with the Congress and with the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra.
It's called secular baptism.
Secular baptism.
I just don't understand.
Because that is the essence of any coalition that the Congress ever becomes a part of. The Congress, by its ideology, by default,
okay, let Mithun Vijay Kumar speak.
It does not work for the
party. So essentially, the character becomes secular by virtue of alliance.
So we are going with the character. We are going with the name. Just take a look at what the IUML official website has to say about them. The state committee website says the Muslim League Kerala State Committee is the only Muslim community catering organization maintained a steady presence in Parliament since its inception. So how is a Muslim catering secular is something I don't understand sitting in a secular country. And today the whole country is debating whether IUML is a descendant of Jinnah's Muslim League. And all thanks to Rahul Gandhi, because we wouldn't have discussed this topic for the next 100 years if he didn't bring this up. Or he didn't say that IUML is secular. So it's like comparing IUML and ML is like comparing penguins with African penguins. Both have no explicit connections, but they are similar in many ways. So it all boils down to the ideology. And despite having expressed extreme views on various issues, IUML is always always kind of protected by certain political powers. And unlike the new age Islamist parties where, with extreme views like SDPI, IUML has some kind of immunity because one, they have been in Indian politics for a long time. Somehow they have been there. And second, they are backed by a prominent political party like Congress, unlike SDPI with whom Congress is only making unholy alliances. So that gives some kind of immunity to IUML. And so in the long run, we have learned to not react when they are, taking extreme positions in socio-political matters. So it's always the political stand a party takes which defines whether they are secular or not.
Advocate Mohammed Shah, if your party itself says we are here to further a Muslim agenda, where is there even a fig leaf of secularism there? It is an outright community-driven, if not communal agenda. So you've muted yourself. Please unmute and continue.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, go on.
Yes. Now, you are comparing whether RSS is secular, whether IUML is secular. That's the question. IUML is a political party registered under Section 29.
No, actually the question was more direct. If your website says that we are here to further the interests of Muslims, then what is the argument even about being a secular party? You are catering to a community which by definition would be a communal political agenda.
Want my answer.
It's a very wrong comparison, Padmaja. RSS wants uniform civil code.
We will just come to that. Let's start with your question about the self-stated agenda of furthering the interests of the Muslim community. Advocate Shah, respond to that.
My response is to first word you asked to the first person. You said RSS is compared with Muslim League. You said the RSS is not a political party registered under Section 29A.
No, sir.
RSS.
I am asking you right now a simple question. If your stated objective is to further the interests of the Muslim community, then how can you claim to be secular? You should be furthering the interests of every Indian.
First of all, if you are not able to speak, permit me to speak, then why should I be here? May I answer the question? I'll answer the question.
Okay,
give
answer.
me 2 minutes. My answer is RSS is not a political party registered under 29A. RSS is not a political party which submitted an affidavit under Section 29A5. It is not an organization which vetted under 29.7. Muslim League is a political party in which under Section 29A7 an affiliation has been given. BJP filed a writ petition before the Honorable Supreme Court stating that due to the name of the Muslim is included, the Muslim League is not a secular organization. We filed counter affidavit in the matter. Now what BJP did is they withdrawn the writ petition. They withdrawn the writ petition. Now the position is that the petition filed by the BJP is dismissed before the Honorable Supreme Court. The question is over before the Supreme Court. It is not pending anywhere else.
Okay.
No, the question whether a political party having the name of any religion can be a secular party is now answered.
Okay, it's answered. It's answered. Shehzad Poonawala, go on.
Okay. Now, 3 very specific points. By that logic, Advocate Shah, is Hindu Mahasabha then, which is also registered in the Constitution and Election Commission Acts, why is that communal for you? Point number 1. Now, second question, this character theory, कि नाम से नहीं character से पहचानो सबको, तो character में Nehru ji ने गलती कर दी because Nehru ji was opposing Muhammad Ismail's Muslim League. But Rahul ji is more दूरदर्शी than Nehru ji. So what Nehru couldn't see, Rahul can see. He could see the secularism in Muslim League, but Nehru ji couldn't. So Nehru ji was wrong. And thirdly, ये ISF वाला फुरफुरा शरीफ का गद्दा नशीन पीरजादा ये भी कैरेक्टर वाइज सेकुलर ही है ना. आनंद शर्मा ने हालांकि कुछ कहा था, पर मिस्टर सुमंत रमन, ये फुरफुरा शरीफ के गद्दा नशीन पीरजादा साहब सेकुलरिज्म के फरिश्ते ही होंगे.
डॉक्टर
ही इज अ सेकुलर फरिश्ता.
ओके, डॉक्टर सुमंत रमन.
Character is secular?
No. Just one second. I think there is a complete lack of understanding that nothing is stuck in stone. What Mr. Mohammed Ismail was is not what Mr. E. Ahmad or E.T. Mohammed Bashir are 50 years or 70 years later.
Conversion.
And to go back and say Nehru did not have judgment, Rahul Gandhi had better judgment.
Sanjay Raut needn't necessarily
what are we talking about?
It is called
there is 1 second.
Secular conversion.
What Bal Thakre was, Uddhav Thakre is not.
So the same Samna that spoke of, yes, we sent Swayam Sevaks to bring down the Babri Masjid, is now a secular mouthpiece of a secularized party.
Character has changed. Character has evolved.
There has been a 25-year It cannot evolve. Oh wow.
Also, but
There
the
was a
RSS is
BJP
monolithic
which
and RSS
a
was
party
communal
which
then.
attempted to
Communal
reach
now.
out to everyone under Mr. Vajpayee. See where the BJP is today.
I answered E. Ahmed's
See
question,
where
and
the
why
BJP
Mr.
was
Vajpayee, who went under
Vajpayee.
Mr. Narasimha Rao,
It made
is not
an
secular
attempt.
man and secular party.
It made an attempt. It made one
an
second, Mr. No, in fact, the Congress consistently described him as the right man in the wrong party.
Oh.
But point really is, as far as BJP was concerned, at one point of time, it did make an attempt to reach out to people, to communities across the aisle. All that has changed now. So can you say the BJP of Vajpayee?
So you are
is
saying
same
that
as
some
the BJP
secular
of Mr.
conversions
Modi?
are
No.
successful,
Of course
some are not
parties
successful.
change.
Some secular conversions took place, like Shiv Sena is now
Not at all.
secular
I'm
Sena.
only pointing out
and
that nothing is cast in stone.
ISF is now secular front. But BJP and RSS का secular
By
conversion नहीं हुआ, according to your
accepting a
touchstone.
But for that, there has to be an application made to the Board of
By
Certification for
accepting-
Secularism, which has certified the Shiv Sena sins and the IML sins. RSS, BJP have not made the cut. Mithun Vijay Kumar, you wanted to respond to Advocate Mohammed Shah.
They're time and again bringing up the topic of E. Ahmed. We need to understand that he was a member of the parliament in Lok Sabha, and Indian parliament doesn't have a culture of sidelining an elected member if he's from a particular community or a party. And the Prime Minister carries everyone along with him, including the opposition. So there's nothing surprising if, Mr. Ahmed was nominated to visit Geneva. And there is a comparison between RSS and IUML that is being made here. RSS wanted uniform civil code, but IUML wants Sharia. RSS stands for national values, but IUML stands for religious values. RSS speaks for women empowerment, but IUML, on the other hand, disbanded their women's unit when they came out and complained about harassment. Now, RSS promotes scientific education, IUML promotes madrasa education. RSS speaks of gender equality, but IUML says mixed classrooms are against our culture. Now, this is the character of IUML that you're talking about. What explanation do you have, and how can you even compare IUML with RSS, which is a nationalist organization, with a progressive point of view? So this entire discussion is, whether it is about PFI or IUML or any party like that, they will immediately try to compare it with RSS. Now, Congress is making,
Advocate Shah,
unholy
and
alliances.
added to that, again, the speaking of your agenda on your website, which says you are there to further the cause of the Muslim community. What is then your argument for secularism when you very clearly have said you are working for a community? You have said it, nobody else.
Popular Front of India and RSS were organizations which were banned in this country for several reasons.
But sir, you are still not answering the question. The question is about the ideology you espouse. You say we are espousing the ideology of Sharia. You are saying we are espousing the ideology of working for the Muslim community. And yet you say we can lay claim to be secular as opposed to, say, the RSS or the BJP or the Hindu Mahasabha. How?
Enough to hear me.
There cannot be two standards, sir. I am using your standards to ask you a simple question.
I am giving an answer to that. I'm giving an answer to that. I am saying, my friend saying all these things. Let him file a complaint before the election commission and say that all the political parties has to be evaluated and to find out whether they violated the white affidavit
The election commission can't ban a party.
A5.
You know that.
Then, if
Sir,
there is
election
violation,
commission only has the right to register a party.
Sir, very quickly. Sir, Mr. Shah, very quickly. By your logic, which complaint is there against BJP that it is communal in the election commission?
No, what I am saying is...
आपकी मर्जी से आप बीजेपी कॉम्युनल हर रोज दिन रात मिस्टर राहुल गांधी is BJP communal. Which complaint is pending against us that we are communal? Have you filed an affidavit or complaint? Has election commission accepted your complaint? वाह, मतलब certify भी मैं करूंगा, तय भी मैं करूंगा. ये क्या चल रहा है?
And leave that aside, sir, one very small anecdotal evidence, and let me bring in Nikhil Jain on that, because I want to make one more important point. You say by virtue of being a nationally recognized party, you are secular. By virtue of having members of parliament, you are secular. Yet, Narendra Modi gets to be two-time Prime Minister of India, but he will forever be known as a communal figure. Yogi Adityanath will be a 5-time MP, subsequently a 2-time Chief Minister, yet he will constantly be called a communal hate figure by the same Congress party. The last point, though, I wanted to make was about Mr. Jairam Ramesh today saying that it was Shyama Prasad Mukherjee who, in fact, did business with the Muslim League and was responsible for the partition of Bengal. I found that very strange, Nikhil Jain. So it seems, and I went and researched from a book that was written on the partition of Bengal, and it says that the party which was in partnership in Bengal was actually, it's Bidyut Chakravarti's partition of Bengal and Assam 1932-1947. The Krishak Praja Party and the Muslim League formed a coalition government, and Shyama Prasad Mukherjee was vociferously opposing the Muslim League and Krishak Praja Party in Bengal. You know why? Because it was on their watch that the Calcutta violence, where Hindus were massacred, and the subsequent Noakhali riots took place, where Hindus were massacred. And that is the reason why he asked for the partition of Bengal, so that Hindus would be freed from the IUML. Why was there this hurry to talk about Shyama Prasad Mukherjee and link him to the IUML in order to give the IUML now a clean chit? Link Shyama Prasad Mukherjee to Muslim League? Nikhil Jain?
So first of all,
the Muslim League and Shyama Prasad Mukherjee were never in alliance.
It was never.
He was never.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Mr. Jain.
Am I audible?
Not sensible, but audible.
Yeah. So first of all, it was never my argument that if just because somebody is a member of parliament, they can't be communal. They very well can be. Narendra Modi is an example. So far as the point about Shehzad's point is concerned, that Nehru foresaw something in 48 and Rahul Gandhi saying something else in 2023, 75 years have passed. When Nehru said that this IUML was an offshoot of Jinnah's Muslim League, and it was perfectly alright and reasonable on Nehru's part to believe that this party again may ask for a secession.
Congress denied that claim.
It has been 75 years and this party has been existing in India without demanding a Muslim Rashtra. That is why.
Congress said this has nothing to do with Jinnah's party. I admire your candid confession. Thank you. Continue. So tell them that they are unread WhatsApp university students. Say that Jairam Ramesh is a WhatsApp university student. Please say it.
Shehzad, see, I'll tell you what.
No, I appreciate your knowledge and your depth and your gravitas and your substance.
Claim to be.
Pawan Kheda is from WhatsApp university. Say it.
Okay, let him finish, please. Let him finish. Okay, go on. But he has his own point of view. He is his own student of history. Go on, finish your point.
Jairam Ramesh, I or Rahul Gandhi, nobody exactly. We are not strong professors of history. We can make a mistake here and there. I may be wrong. Jairam Ramesh may be wrong. And I think everybody in the Congress party has the courage to accept that they can be wrong and they don't know everything, unlike our Prime Minister. And let's not forget that we're having this entire debate because Rahul Gandhi said something in an interview which was not scripted, in which there were no teleprompters. Can the Prime Minister stake claim to being in an interview like that?
So I think we are kind of completely shifting the goalpost here. And if you really are saying that people have made a mistake in their interpretation about whether the IUML is connected to the Muslim League, I'm just going to end in the words of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, that there are some people who claim to know about everything, but at the heart of it basically is mediocrity. I'll leave the interpretation up to you. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, for joining me. And in fact,